All right, we live, baby. We live in the house. You already know what it is. This is God's, baby. This is God's.
On God, baby.
On God. This is
what
God's.
It do?
I promise this is. So yeah, we here live, baby. You know, we're gonna start the show off a little different.
We're gonna give us some fresh shit. Fresh intro. Fresh.
Yeah, fresh intro. This is a nice little red bone cover. I'm pretty sure y'all know that.
Shout out to L3.
Pretty sure y'all know the tune, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sounds so soulful, don't you agree? L3, yo from the future, we here.
What's up, y'all?
Right there.
Shout out to everybody live. Shout out to everybody watching the pod. We are the God.
If you want it, you can have it. If you need it, you can make it high. If you want it, you can have it. Stay warm. Niggas creeping. They gon' find you and catch you slipping. Oh, stay warm. Niggas creeping. Now don't you close your eyes.
Yeah.
Woo!
What's up,
Son.
y'all? Y'all up?
There's something about that tune right there,
That shit's
bro.
fire, bro. I've been jamming that shit for years.
Yeah, I meant to stop when I said we was gonna stop, but it just sounds
It's
so
okay,
good.
yeah, because it was still playing in the background. It kinda
sounds
just
good.
Just struck right. It's cool. We got some cool shit.
It sounds real good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of On God. I am your boy, Pinpoint the God, a.k.a. Tony Pepperoni, a.k.a. Gloria Only Son, a.k.a. TKBX1, a.k.a. Fuck You Say to Me Whore,
Oh.
a.k.a. Dick Dick Nick, a.k.a. Will Nye, the highest guy. And yeah, I'm going to try
Lord
to bring
mercy.
out some science watts.
Uh-oh.
And on my left, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we have L3, yo from the future. We here live. I don't got all them AK and A's. I ain't that cool yet, but we gonna get there. I know, right? It's
That's
wild.
funny shit.
Just wild. I just be saying random things that they just come out of my
That's
mouth.
what it is, yo. That's
But,
what
you know,
Hold on, let me,
it's
well,
just
I can't see that, but that's okay. Everybody.
what you got.
Nothing. No. I mean, I was just saying they could see it.
Oh, okay. Cool beans.
Yo, before we get started,
Mm-hmm.
if y'all see this in enough time, especially shout out to the live, we got a show this Friday. Some of y'all can see the little thing, you know what I mean? It's at the Depot off of like Charles Street.
Yep,
North Charles,
yep.
you know what I'm saying? Come on down to the Depot. And
Come on down.
Check us out, yo. It's gonna be a bunch of acts in the building. Shout out to everybody that's gonna be there. Shout out Damon Rain. Shout out Cliff Love. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Femi the Dropfish and the Outer Water Experience, Peoples. Everybody else. Shout out to everybody else that's gonna be there. Should be a good look. You know what I'm
It
saying?
should be like we had a good little practice session.
Yeah.
We got some really, really cool tunes.
Yeah,
We got some
bringing a guest with
good,
us, you know what I'm
we
saying?
got some good tunes. We're bringing a guest.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Should we tell them? Stay woke. Does that make them want to come more?
Maybe.
Nah. We got a special
Yeah,
guest.
just come see who
Just
the
show
special
up.
guest is, you
Yeah.
know?
So it's going to be a dope show, a dope set. If you heard some of our new music, some of that will be played. And actually, I'm going to be doing a song that is not even out yet.
Y'all don't even know. That shit
So
fire.
if you come to this show, you will get. This isn't the first time I performed it. I performed it a cappella once.
Okay. That's what's
But
up.
you will get the full experience of it if you come to the Depot on Friday. This Friday, April 28th. It's only $10 to get in, which is really cheap to see some dope performers.
Yeah, and it's mass. It's at least what 6 or 7 acts and shit. That's
Right.
It's like pennies on the. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
a little bit
it's
for everybody.
yeah.
Every song you hear is like a couple of.
And I'm telling you, we got some we got songs that someone will mess with. We have a variety of songs that we're doing this Friday, and it's going to be dope. So come out to the Depot and check it out. That's on Charles Street, North Charles Street.
Yeah.
So yeah, check us out, man. Friday, April 28th. Check us out.
So yo, I'm gonna jump out there and ask this wild ass question.
All right, here we go.
Before I ask this wild ass question, yes, I understand that Google, Siri, and OK Google, and Alexa, and everybody else can answer me technically, but I don't necessarily need the technical answer. I could have looked it up before we started talking about it. I want to talk about how you feel. So how you feel, how y'all feel. Comment, talk to niggas. Yo, The Rock, like the actor, wrestler, yo.
Mm-hmm. Dwayne The Rock
so
Johnson.
I know what literally would be checked off on paper, I think. But do you and do y'all consider The Rock to be, Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Do y'all consider him to be like black or like half black? Like even though you know kind of like what it is, do you give him like black pass? Do you think he encounters black shit? Do you feel like he can say nigga? Like is he?
So
What is he when you think about it? Not what's on his taxes.
The Rock is OJ.
I'm not black. I'm OJ.
Yeah, that's The Rock.
Okay.
The Rock is simply just not white.
So he's a person of color.
Yes, The Rock is a person of color who is so awesome he can get away with anything.
Is that why there's at least 5 movies where he wears the same tan shirt?
Yeah, I mean, why do you need different colors?
I mean, sometimes he plays the same guy. I like some of his movies, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
The Rock is. I mean, he's bigger than he's essentially bigger than life at this point. I think he's a bigger than life character. You know, I think he actually said that. I don't think that he wants to, but he said if enough people wanted him to, he would.
You think he could win?
In America, maybe.
What party? do you think he
Because
would
who doesn't love the thing that would suck would be you would have to see a dark side of The Rock, right? Because aside from being a heel in wrestling, you would have to see a dark side because they are going to go after him. They're going to dig up every little thing that they can find. Anything.
And I don't believe I wouldn't think that he's been living his life super super pristine. Whereas though like for presidential research, you might live clean enough for like Hollywood research.
He's pretty clean.
Presidential
I think.
research.
I think he's pretty clean.
He may be, but here's what I thought you were going with that. If you did politics, the dark side would be more so, not necessarily that it would show you where he's that he is an asshole, but it would be like when you got to make tough choices,
Right.
like wherever his opinion lands. Obviously, to the half of the people that don't agree with that opinion,
Right.
now you're an asshole. You're no longer. See, he can play that
It's
neutral
gonna be
role
tough.
of being a Hollywood star and a wrestler. He can just be like,
He's
who
a-
knows what I think about shit that you
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's the people's champ. So, and he typically seems somewhat righteous.
But if he comes
But he
out-
also seems funny too, and he turns his asshole switch on when need be.
Yo, so
But
yeah.
it's- So I
What if he
don't
came
know.
out and was like, yo, because that righteous thing. What if he came out and was like, I know people are outraged, and this is again if he was on some political shit. He was like, yeah, I mean, abortion is wrong. It's morally wrong, and there's no excuse for it at any time. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You feel like women that are his fans for how he looks would be like, oh my god, like what about incest and rape? Am I right? Am I true?
Right?
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like because that righteous shit don't necessarily lean to what people that feel like they're being righteous.
Okay,
match.
so maybe I should change. So he's the people's champ. So I think what the people want is what he would do. And so yeah, there are people who want that to be illegal, but they want someone else's choice not to be a choice. So The Rock would be, it's your choice. I think The Rock would allow everyone to still be able to make their own choices.
Here's what's interesting to me.
I can't imagine.
When we
It would suck to hate The Rock, you know?
Right. When we talk about the people's champ and the people's choice, it's like, yo, so there's middle America people,
Right,
which arguably make up a huge percentage of like wrestling fan base.
Oh yeah.
And then there's people who are the opposite of what people consider middle America, like people that are on either coast that typically
Right.
more left than right. So it's like, yo, there are huge groups of the people. Which the people's champ would he be? Because there's I can't prove it, but it just feels like the middle America folks support his original background and base of wrestling more than maybe the other side. So does that sway it at all, or does it not matter now because Hollywood is more important to him than what that used to be? Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? Here, that's a good point. I think
just what he thinks personally maybe would outweigh all of that shit.
it might be a little bit of what he thinks personally, but it might be a lot of what Hollywood would say, because he's Hollywood. So
and that's left.
Yeah, that's really, really left. So hopefully he wouldn't be super left, but yeah.
To me, that would be him almost abandoning. That would be the last stage of walking away from wrestling. Like, you can't come back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm a guest star on whatever the fuck we call it now.
But he'd be all right without it.
Yeah, well, obviously. Interesting. All right. Yo, weigh in, chat, whatever, comment later on YouTube, wherever. Tell us how you feel about The Rock. Whether
but overall,
politically or if is he just non-white? Is he white?
Overall, he's OJ, but better than what OJ did.
Yeah, OJ is.
Like OJ, you still black. The Rock is just he's The Rock.
OJ is
but I would assume The Rock is black and Samoan. But either way, it's just
right. But I don't know. Like, he could be Samoan with something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. I know we could look it up, but I just wanted to talk about how it feels.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna let you.
Let me give you one of L's threes for the day. Since we're already talking politics, let's just talk about it.
Oh shit.
Lemon Pepper Don.
Yeah, he's out.
Lost his job.
He's definitely out. However, Tucker Carlson got fired on the same day. So,
yeah, it's an interesting turn of events.
It's almost like, so I feel like, part of me feels like the powers that be behind each of these networks was like, yo, this is kind of like we don't want to upset the balance of the nation. Can we do I scratch your back, you scratch mine? Like, I got a problem. I need to unload this talent because of things that have happened recently. Right. I feel like you need to unload a piece of your talent because of what's happened recently. If we do it at the same time, we can mitigate the shots from across the aisle because it happened to every. Like, it really seems like they was like, yeah, all right,
So they can't even talk about Don Lemon because your guy got fired as well. So it just equals out.
Hard, it's like, well, then now we get the right to go. Because I've seen a lot of, like, the Daily Show, they was going in. You know what I'm saying? Cause
on who?
On the fact that Tucker's out.
Oh, okay.
But it's like,
because the left be going in on Don. Well, maybe they don't, but
a little bit.
I'm not a huge fan of his, but
the thing is, because of the way this got executed, you know what I mean? There's the harder jokes you crack from your point of view opens up the door for the hardest jokes to come from the other side.
Yeah.
So it's like, y'all either both gotta chill.
That's a good way to look at it.
At the exact same time, and I just don't think it's possible that it just accidentally happened. That both of these powerhouse networks let go of their main guys. Sorta, you know what I'm saying? It's like, fam, there was a conversation behind that, and it's something about the divisiveness behind maybe January 6th, or the way all the shit that's going against Fox right now. That was like their thing, and I think Tucker just, you know what I mean? They probably swiped him as they're like, yo, they're the biggest name. All those texts came out that we were all in line. So somebody gotta take the fall.
There was that on that for Don Lemon. I think they were talking about that he's a like
the sexist thing.
Yeah, sexist, misogynist.
So it's like,
or
all
whatever,
right, we got two of the bigger names.
Yeah.
There's each something that's severely picking away at them right now. Can we do this at the same time and lower the backlash?
Yeah.
Or by doing it to the other quote unquote side, it'll lessen the disappointment from each side of losing their guy because it balances off with the excitement of the other side also losing their guy. I think that's what that is.
It could be because it's equal. It seems still,
Yeah.
and they're both like powerhouses. Essentially, someone said if they were a great TV, if you're a great TV producer or whatever, you would give both of them.
You
on
would
one show.
You would skip and Skip and Shannon them.
Yeah,
You would do a
right.
first take
Yeah,
on politics.
yeah, exactly.
And have him be like, "What are you talking about, Tucker?" And he'd be like, "What? Is it racist because I don't like ordering from black people behind the register? Is that racist? Is it racist?" And be like, "Yes, it's fucking right." Anyway, not the pick side, but that would be an entertaining ass show.
Right.
What if that? Yo, I would watch that.
I honestly would too.
The country might
because
need
after
that.
a while, they would have to kind of. There would be something that they might both agree on. At the end, they're both men.
That would be probably the best thing that could happen for the country and both of those people.
Someone said that as well.
Do a show together, and because whenever they agree on something, that should be a blatant bipartisan issue, at least in Congress.
Yeah.
These two assholes could be like, well, yeah, let's agree to stop shooting the kids. Then we
And-
can start there. You know what I'm saying?
And Don Lemon doesn't get to cut people off. Like when he doesn't like your opinion, he's like, all right, we're going to go to commercial. We're done here.
Politics should take something.
You won't be able to
sports.
do that anymore.
They should do that because it makes for good sports.
Well,
talk
honestly,
to hear
because
both sides of the
politics now it's not sports, but it's entertainment. It's
is.
It's not like politics of old. This is they do the Tucker Carlson. He's in the hot seat right now because he was spewing facts that he doesn't even believe. Not even facts. He was viewing statements and views that he doesn't even believe in.
And honestly, the best way, the way to pitch this to those guys to work together is, people that already believe and feel your message are already listening. The only way to get the other side to even kind of hear your point of view directly is to tie yourself to somebody they're listening to.
Right.
And they'll gladly watch you guys argue it because they know their man's going to stand up for their side. But in the midst of that, you're going to grab some ears that are like, oh, shit, the other side isn't so unreasonable about this topic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That would be genius.
But see, that's the thing.
I need that.
I think that they are just entertainers. I don't think that they have views.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like they believe the part that they're enforced to speak on.
Yeah.
But I do think that so some of that.
For all we know, they might be switched.
Right.
Tucker Carlson might be a lefty, and then Don Lemon might be on the right. Who knows?
Or more so than either one of them realizes, or is willing, or is allowed to admit out loud as things currently were. I think that would be a great show. I would watch that shit. That'd be one of the only shows I watch that has Don Lemon in it. I think. It would definitely be the only show I watch that has either one of those fucking guys.
Yeah. I mean, I've never watched Tucker Carlson.
I've never watched Tucker either.
I don't know.
I just see clips of him on shows that I do watch talking about how fucked up he is.
Kind of talking about this and like, well, what do you think about this? Because what Don Lemon said was this. Right. So we'll go back to the footage.
Yeah. It's like, don't you have any of your news to talk about?
Right. But and you heard what Rick Ross said?
No.
Rick Ross said he's got a job for Don Lemon.
Is that right?
Yeah. At Wingstop. Lemon pepper wings, baby.
This nigga, did he really say that or he just fucking
he said something along those lines,
Twitter or something.
Yeah. He didn't put the joke out there. The joke was left for you to get. Because he always talks about that lemon pepper. Got to get them lemon pepper wings, which I've never really had from this. I actually might stop in one day and get some lemon pepper wings.
Right. I've had lemon pepper wings, but I don't know if I've gotten them from there before.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Like random local hood spots and shit.
Yeah. What kind of pinpoint you got?
All right. So my next pinpoint is not really it's a question. But it's very lighthearted and sounds have a little bit of fun with this motherfucker. I'm gonna start it by not even saying the question. I'm gonna just say, hold on. Which one do I want to do?
That's how you know it's about to be some BS.
Total BS. 805 Empire today. Let's talk about commercials that you're always gonna remember, or at least you think you would. Because this some like over the years.
I need my cash and I need it now.
That's the one I was about to do. That's my money and I want it now. I can't think of it. Call JG Wentworth 877 cash now. Like we give niggas free promo.
You have those ones that have great. What's that moniker? Is that what you would call that?
Not the moniker. I think would be like with a name you go by.
Okay, right.
Slogan?
Yeah, slogan.
Like a theme song.
They had great theme songs and slogans because, as corny as they were, you remembered them.
Right. Even if it was out of the hate of hearing it so often.
Yes.
But it's like now I know what number to call. I know.
Yeah. JG. You know the numbers. Like you actually you could call them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember their number.
Now, see if it works. You could do that shit on speakerphone. Like yo, it works.
Yep, it still works.
Damn, yo, we might want to do a prank call thing on one episode. I'm just coming up with random ass ideas. Sorry, y'all.
We can go for it. We can go. But so this commercial isn't like those commercials, but it's still very memorable to me, which is Hump Day. To me, that's the greatest commercial of all time.
Oh, that's definitely not the greatest.
That's got to be one. If it's not the greatest, it's really, really close.
Like it. People still like it because it.
Mike.
Yeah.
That was epic. That was definitely the best Geico commercial.
So no, it's not. You got to remember. Well, so let's go back. Do you remember the caveman Geico commercials?
Wow.
Them shits was funny. It was like the first y'all forget the concept behind it was like, oh, the initial one was like, Geico. So simple of a decision, even a caveman could do it.
Yeah.
And then they let that first one get off, and then ever since that, the caveman turned into like a politically correct offended, yo. That might be where we first started turning as a nation, because they said it, and he could like hear the fucking narrator, and he's like, well, that's offensive. What do you mean if a caveman could do it? And then every commercial after that was about him trying to
Right. I feel like I do remember some of that.
I got my necktie, and then he would accidentally do some caveman shit.
I still don't know if it's Hump Day.
Fam, that shit was so much better. Yo, it was so good that they made like 19 more. There's only one Hump Day commercial.
Yeah, because you only needed one. Yeah. Well, hold on, honestly, because it's like that one thing we were talking about, like that Eminem situation, where you feel like you cannot do that.
Listen, there's a Skittles commercial and a Career Builder commercial.
The Skittles one. If you're talking about the Skittles one that isn't legal.
Nah, I don't think I'm talking about that one.
Okay.
I'm talking about the one. All right, so there's a guy that appears to be from maybe like, or that his family descends from India or some shit. He's standing outside. His commercial.
Oh, that was good.
He's got the rabbit.
Right, so I don't remember the rabbit. I just remember the dots.
We might not be talking about the same one. Oh, no, I'm not talking about the one. So
okay.
There's a dude, and he's holding this rabbit, and there's a fucking thunderstorm outside. And he's staring in a window, and there's a guy sitting on his couch just mashing Skittles. Now, mind you, the whole time you've been watching what I just said, the rabbit that he's holding is singing a fucking song, and it's thunderstorm rain. Like, the dude's hair is, like, in his fucking eyes. And he's standing there looking jealous as shit that a nigga eating Skittles. But the whole time, the rabbit is singing this. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So he's singing this classical music in the rain, and he fucking goes and knocks on the dude's door and trades the singing rabbit for the Skittles. And as soon as he gets the Skittles, the guy has the rabbit bites the nigga and runs away. And the nigga just has his Skittles. And that's it. There's no explanation. They're just like, taste the rainbow. But the little rabbit's little baby lips was moving to the lyrics. It's so fucking. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I also look back at it. I still don't know if it's Hump Day, but
fuck Hump Day.
I'll check it. I'll check it out.
All right, I'm gonna send you a link.
What I will say is some of the commercials that I do think were really, really good were are they all? Was it Nationwide?
Nationwide, is that the Mayhem?
Yeah, Mayhem.
The Mayhem joints are perfect,
those are that it's the right amount of ridiculousness.
Wait, yes. So let me do this.
I'll give them that. That one's great.
There's a Career Builder commercial from like the Super Bowl in like 2009 or some shit. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those joints that keep stacking on. And it's like, if you hate your job, you're likely to da-da-da. And then they show a thing and it's ridiculous. And then every time he starts over and names a second thing. But when he names a second thing, they show the first shit that happened and then the second. And then he's like, if you hate your job, you're likely to have this happen. And then they show that. And then when they do number 4, they show all 3 before the 4th. Okay. And then by the end of it, they're like, if you do, and then they do like all 9 things, and they're like, you need Career Builder. I can't tell you, or y'all that's listening, all the funny fucking things that happen, but yo, it's so, when I send it to you, and y'all, I might put the link under this. You're
send it
gonna
to me.
Die.
If you put the link through that,
good.
I'll watch that.
One of the list of things
I'll give it a try.
They're like, it's time for Career Builder. They're like, if you feel like this in the morning, it's one of the things they cut to, and it's just a white lady in a Toyota, and she goes from this to, that's it. And then it cuts to another thing.
I feel like
it's so good. And they show it like 9 times, because every time they go through the list, she, again, it's like, yo, I was losing my shit. I didn't give a fuck about the Super Bowl.
That's when Super Bowl commercials were really good. Domino's always had good commercials.
Even
Pepsi.
Budweiser used to kill it.
Yeah.
Back when I was in like middle school and shit, used to kill
the Coca-Cola and Pepsi competition, where I think he bought a Coca-Cola or bought 2 Coca-Colas to stand on it to get a Pepsi.
Oh yeah.
I like the competition.
Snarky shit like that.
Yeah. That's
Yo,
pretty dope.
you know what I love? I feel like everybody loves these commercials. Is the I forget how they word it, but they're basically like, we can't stop young homeowners from turning into their parents.
Those are good.
Yo!
And they're so relatable, too. Those are actually really good.
The jump with the black dude, and he's like, oh, I've got to get these hedges. And he's like, always with the hedges. That's just funny. He's like, is that your name and address on the trash cans? He's like, can never be too safe.
Yeah.
Trash?
Right.
Yo, the elevator dude, I love the elevator one.
I don't know if I've seen the elevator
one. All right, the elevator one at one point, so the guy that's helping them is on the elevator with the guy that needs help.
Right.
But he does all of the corny shit in the elevator. Like at one point, he's facing everybody on the elevator.
Yes.
And the dude's like, see how everyone's facing this way? And he's like, oh. Or he got on and he's like, we got any out of towners? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just an elevator. Like, you don't gotta break the ice. This isn't like the first day of orientation or some shit. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Though I love
those are good ones. I'll give you that.
You remember t-shirts, sweatshirts, footwear and boots. No. Because no one likes the city, likes you city.
No.
Aren't they going out of business?
Shoe City?
Shoe City.
I don't remember that commercial, but they did have a lot of Shoe City. And also Little Sweet.
Little Sweet. Oh, yeah. The sweet one.
Yeah.
Yo. Fucking Baby Prince.
Yeah, that was a good Dr. Pepper joint.
Nobody has what Tate has. I feel like we're doing a lot of Maryland commercials.
One's it. Which is fine because that's what we got to see. Yeah. But they did a good enough job to get us to remember it 10, 15, 20 years later.
Damn, I got a joint from like 1993. You was listening to like B103 or 92Q. It was for the mall. It was just Mondo Man.
Oh.
The spirit. The city. Mondo Man Mall. It had like the Africa drums and shit.
Oh,
like Mondo
Man.
The spirit. The city. It's the Mondo Man Mall. And like, nigga, that mall is dangerous. But they had like an African.
Was it dangerous back then?
Yeah, it was kind of
okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that like I'll go, but I mean, people feel like dangerous. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
I do give a fuck, but I go there and I don't typically have issues.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I mean, people say what they say.
You do smell. I did smell a strong amount of weed.
That makes me want to come.
But I
think,
like,
you know what I'm saying, the shit that makes people run makes me come.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely need a pause.
Yo, fucking commercials. Yo, I remember in like the earlier 2000s, the Sylvan Learning Center commercials used to come on all the time.
Yeah.
And there was this one segment in the one joint I used to see like mad times a day. It's a black mom and a black son. And she said something like, she said something out of grade. She's like, you got an E and whatever. You're failing, da-da-da-da. And his response is, Mom, I said I'd do better. And I never forgot it because it was like, whatever the fuck she said, his response didn't match like the level of energy and fix that was needed. It was like, she said some wild shit. And his response was, Mom, I said I'd do better. Like, isn't that good enough? Like, no, you fucking idiot. You just did whatever she said that was wild. It was like wild. And this nigga's whole response, his defense is like, and he did like the, you don't understand me. Like, God's parents just don't understand face. But it was like, nah, nigga, because you just said some wild, dumb shit that proves that you the type of student to do that shit that you just did, that you thought that was a good enough skill. I don't know why that shit always stuck with me. Yeah, some of these commercials just be so good. They'd be like,
I don't know if they're as good anymore, but also I don't watch TV as much anymore, so I don't really know whether they're good or not.
Right. I don't know. Yo, y'all comment and come in and talk to us about some of y'all favorites because I can't think of them all right now. You know, I watch TV, but probably not as much. And we're streaming so much.
Yeah, you stream. You don't really sit and watch commercials.
Yeah. Because I got to be like watching sports. That's when I be like, oh shit, y'all got any commercials?
Yeah. Watching sports, watching basketball games or football games.
Pretty much. When it's in a season I don't care about, I miss like a whole 4 months worth of commercials and shit.
True.
I don't give a fuck about baseball.
Yeah, I'll watch baseball, but I gotta be there. I can't watch.
Yeah, I gotta be in person.
And it's good. It's good background. It's good background noise. Like if you're cleaning.
No, I'd rather put on a show I've already.
I'm not saying that I would do it, but I'm just saying that I could see someone doing that. Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. I ain't mad at that.
One of L's threes today is just my cool car ad because I thought I did it last week, but maybe I didn't.
Maybe
we'll do this one. This is one of my cool cars for this year is a 2023 Hyundai Elantra N.
Never heard about this one yet.
Okay, so my friends will for sure make fun of me when I talk about this car. But exactly, it's anything that's like not of the norm. Camaros, Mustangs, and fast Hondas and stuff like that. They're like,
feel this way and shit.
yeah, they're like, why are you liking that? So, but anyhow, 2023 Hyundai Elantra N. They had a couple years prior as well, but the newest one, the new front end looks amazing. I think 2024 might be the newest one, and it has a nice front end. The old one did too, but I like the way that it looks. And there are interesting colors like a light blue. I think would be the color that you should get. Light blue, red pinstriping. It's a pretty cool car. They got decent brakes on them. They got nice sporty racing seats.
Yeah.
So of course I like that. So this car has roughly 276 horsepower, 289 foot-pounds of torque from a 2-liter turbocharged engine. And I just think that they're pretty cool. Front-wheel drive. You can get the Elantra. I believe you can get it in a manual, but you can also get it in a DCT automatic, I believe is what they have. So you have that. You have the Hyundai Kona N, which has the same engine and transmission. Also, the Hyundai Veloster has the same sort of setup. So that's my cool car ad for today. That's one of the cars that I actually like. Would I buy one? If I was in the market for that kind of a car, yeah. I mean, I have something. It's older, but I have something similar. So I don't think I personally would, but I would enjoy driving one for sure.
So is this car a type that is like going to be known for acceleration specifically, top speed, like what kind of?
Acceleration. It's like fun to drive factor.
Okay.
Fun to drive, makes cool noises, and you know what I mean.
That shit matters.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And just you buy it, you take it on the back roads, but it's 4 doors. If you get the Elantra and not the Veloster has 3 doors, which is kind of interesting.
Okay. Was the third a hatchback? Like we talking like?
So it has a hatchback, but it has. I don't know if the new one does actually. I could be wrong about that. But the Veloster typically was known for having one longer door on this side and then 2 doors on the right side.
Now that's some futuristic shit to me.
But you
see
would
how yo's from the future.
But see, it's like you look at that car and they designed it in a way where you don't really pay much attention to it when you drive past. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't really notice it until someone pointed it out to you.
So I like
the new one. I don't know if they do that on the new one. I haven't really paid much attention to it. So I don't know.
The old one,
I don't know if they do that.
Because to me, yo, that's like they took a concept from the minivan and updated it and was like cars.
Right. I mean, I guess
it's the sliding door.
Yeah. You know I guess they did it that way just so you could easily get your kids in and out the back.
Yeah. Now my only
question, they did it on the passenger side, which is the side in America that's going to be on the curb in most cases.
Yes, which is good because I was just about to say, well, so that's good for like I guess parallel parking.
But if you're looking from the driver's side, it just looks like a 2-door sports car.
Well, also my next question was going to be, what do you do when you like pull up at Walmart? Like, so I guess they would have to get out on the side with the regular length door. Because if the door is twice as long, then it needs twice as much clearance to the next parking space.
Well, no. So
use that door.
No. So on that side, it's 2 doors. So on the driver's side, you have a longer door.
Okay.
And we're gonna pause for some noise, and we'll be right back. And we got it. Might have to edit that part. It's still bright out there. That's nice. Yeah, it'll just be 2. It'll be 2 videos. Yeah, man.
God's rap, baby.
A toast to all that made it. A lot of my niggas faded. I heard a lot of hating.
Whatever. We back.
Back at it. So, but
shout
yeah.
out Damon Rain. I see my man in the chat.
Hey, what up, Dang?
What's good, bro?
Sir Rains. But yeah, so that particular car is what it is. It's not a super long door on the other side. It's just a shorter door and another door. So it's 2 shorter doors. So you have a regular door over here, and then this door looks shorter on this side, and then you have another door that pops out.
So that means the front passenger door is shorter so that the back door can be longer to get kids in and out?
Yeah. Well, so that the back door can have a door. So it's not longer than either one of the doors. It's the shortest door. But it's just like a A crew cab truck.
Okay, so it's a car that normally wouldn't have given you another door to get people out of the back,
Right.
and they'd have had to push the seat forward.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was picturing it wrong. See, in my mind, you were telling me they created a car that combined 2 regular sized doors into 1 mega door, so that it was only one opening.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, we need to redesign every parking lot everywhere if you're going to use that side of the car. And then I thought you were saying on the other side of the car, the front door and the back door were normal. So basically, you decide based on where you're parking if you're gonna get out of the super long wide door,
right.
or crawl across and get out the regular door. So I was like, yo, that's good and stupid.
Okay, so look, this is an N, and this is 2019. So you see how it has 4 doors.
Okay.
So if you look at, it looks normal. Doesn't look
On that
anything.
side,
It doesn't look. Although I thought it was a smaller door than that actually. But so then you look at this one, and it's only 1 door.
Okay, I got you.
You see what I'm saying? If you look at this side, then you got the 2.
That's cool. I can see why that probably is fun to drive. I can also see why I would never buy it.
So this is the Veloster version.
And it's the older.
Yeah, well, this one's a 2022, but regardless, I'm talking about the Elantra, which has that same engine. So you get the sportiness of that car in a 4-door family sedan. That you can still have car seats. You can still bring your and you can be more comfortable because you don't have the tight space in the back.
Okay.
So it's just a regular, it's like essentially like my car, a nice 4-door sedan with a little bit of power underneath the hood that you can have a little bit of fun in. And it has gimmicks, and I'm a sucker for performance gimmicks. So it has a button, I think if you get the automatic, it has a button that you can push to give you a little bit more boost. Yeah. So it gives you a little bit more horsepower. So for like 10 to 18 seconds, somewhere in that area. Yeah. So pretty neat little small gadgets and stuff like that they put on a factory car.
Shit. Well,
so I think that's pretty cool. So that's my cool car for today.
That's what's up, man.
For this week,
nice
rather.
Little list of these joints that
yeah. And I gotta cross that one out. So,
right.
So we know not to go back to it, which we probably won't. So because there's so many cool cars. Oh. So, but yeah, you got another pin point?
I do, but I need to look at something real quick. I made a note for myself to pull up something. So let me just see.
That yogurt good?
Yo, it was actually pretty good. Shout out to Wegmans on the Wegmans brand, motherfucking strawberry banana yogurt.
Now that I'm an adult, maybe I'll try yogurt again.
Yeah, you gotta give it.
I'm not a yogurt fan.
Don't do Greek.
I think maybe that. I just remember as a kid, it's being like a slimy version of pudding. That's how I viewed it.
If you get a flavor that you like, and you know what I'm saying, I don't know. I mean, I think because our palates, they say, change as you age. It's not
right.
I feel more mature. Let me try it. It's like literally.
There are some things I like more now as an adult. Some things I like less now as an adult. So.
Agreed. There's some shit I can't eat anymore, and that might even become one of my pins points. Now that you said it, that's pretty good. So one thing I wanted to mention, and I know that y'all probably already read it on social, but Bam Margera, however you say his name, from
that sounds about right.
Fucking Jackass stuff, all that shit. He's on the run, and he's on the run from state police.
Is he really on the run though?
Well, this is what they say in the quote unquote article I looked at. Didn't necessarily read the whole thing, but they say that he's on the run, and the reason is because he punched his brother in the face,
which seems just crazy.
Yeah, and then so it says he ran into the woods. This was on Sunday, and has quote unquote not been seen since as of the time of the shit I read. So what I want to say is I feel like, because they say it's his brother, so I'm like, I don't have a brother, but I feel like if I did, or if I was talking about one of my closest homeboys, I feel like if we got in a big enough argument that like I had to punch you in the face, I wouldn't believe that you would call the cops on me.
For that, yeah.
Like I would, or at least, even if we were still currently arguing after the punch, and like I saw you be like, nigga, fuck you, I'm calling the boys, I'd be like, still talking shit to you, like, no, you're not, and you a bitch ass nigga, and go back to the argument.
Unless they pull a pistol out or something, I don't.
I get that's what I'm saying.
Maybe a knife.
I need to know more. Maybe I need to know
I don't know
more.
if I'm calling on a knife, but
because even if you did all of that shit, even if I saw the police show up, I would probably still be thinking like, yo,
you're not gonna let them.
He's just trying to flex right now. He's not gonna actually press charges or uphold whatever the fuck shit is that this is about. But yet, it sounds like that's what happened here. Shit, because How you run into the he physically ran into the woods, like, and so that's a lot, yo. It's like you stayed until the cops showed up and was like, oh shit, he's serious.
Yeah, I really can't imagine this scenario. Like, I want to see more. Eventually he's going to have some type of movie or book out, and then won't really be able to find out what the heck is going on in his life,
maybe he ended up accidentally or indirectly assaulting the police when they showed up. And then he had
so you think he ran from the police? Like the police were almost apprehending him?
Like maybe they were like, yeah, we just want to detain you while we talk about it. And when they tried to cuff him, he was like, shoulder push, fuck, tackle, push. Like maybe they got assaulted without getting assaulted. They claim assault because you like brush up.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe that's why. And the reason I say that is because I just looked at this other thing about it, and his mom released a statement, and the statement was, your family loves you, and we just want you to get the help you need.
He like gone,
and we're not ever going to give up. So it's like
I know he's had some mental issues. He's had some
right. But if that's how the mom feels, then maybe that's how the brother feels, which means maybe at this point it's an issue between him and the cops.
Well, maybe they called the police just to calm him down,
right? And then
he just freaked out and just rolled out.
Fucked up, and now they're like, he pushed my officer, he punched my other officer.
Because it does sound weird.
Officer tripped and twisted his ankle in pursuit, so now fuck you. Like,
the fact that they say he's on the run is what makes it sound weird. Like, what do you mean he's on the run?
Right, or is he on the run because he is of a different? He's not in the right mindset. And he doesn't want to be bothered, and therefore found.
Right.
So, are y'all looking for him peacefully?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Are they looking for him like you're under arrest?
Right.
Because the punch in the face made it sound like they're looking for him for assault.
Yeah.
But if his family's like, yo, it's cool, we know he's sick, then you're not looking for him for assault. So maybe the caption is misleading. Maybe this is going to end up being a story about misleading.
Or maybe they're being so concerned now because he ran away. It's like, hey, just come back. Things got messed up. Just come back.
Yeah, maybe so. Anyway,
I know he's going through it. I think I saw part of his interview on like Steve-O's channel.
Oh, okay.
Where he was kind of talking about going in and out of the rehabs and stuff like that. And I think one thing that was making him kind of push to be better was his son, I believe. Seeing he wanting to be there for his son and whatnot. So I think it's his son. So I'm sure he does have some mental things so that they don't just disappear. But it does seem weird. So that's why I'm assuming that maybe they called the police just to kind of get things under control because they couldn't, because he's probably going wild and crazy at that moment. Like, yeah, because he can't control him. He can't control his anger or whatever. He can't control whatever he's going through.
Which in the past hasn't been always a great idea. Sometimes you call the police to help try to navigate those situations.
Yeah, I mean especially when they're black. Here lately, you can get hit up for that.
That nigga's crazy.
Yeah. Like we need
shit.
I think some places are starting to do it, but you need a whole different type of police force. It really even shouldn't be a police force. It should be some type of social working force or something like that.
You're putting too many different hats on these people.
Yeah,
to master all of them. You can barely do the one thing.
Now, granted, if they have a gun, I think it should be like a social worker accompanied by a police officer. Yeah. And at this point, the social worker is in charge until someone's physical life is threatened. So that's how I think it should be. I think it should be ran something like that. The social worker has control of the situation until they can't, and maybe even have them. Well, the police officer will step in if he has to.
I just thought of a concept for our first movie there, bro.
Okay.
We're gonna do.
Did I tell you about my concept?
I don't think you told me yet.
Okay, but
I'm gonna announce mine to you on air because I don't give a fuck.
Let's go with it.
What if we did a buddied up, like a cop buddy drama? Mm-hmm. But in ours, it's pretty much what you just said. In our movie, it's in a universe where this city has just unrolled this new plan that the mayor came up with. Okay. And the plan is you have in these scenarios
a social worker
that is paired with a seasoned officer. You know what I mean? And they have to show up to all these different calls in the movie, and then we'll write it a certain. We won't give away the plot, right now. Right. But obviously there'll be an apex where something shifts, and there's a true antagonist, and they have to work together in maybe a different way to, unpack the shit. All while we address social issues through our comedy-based movie. We get all of them little jabs in.
Now, do you think it would be us too?
It doesn't even have to be us. In theory, we could write this movie and.
Not even me.
In a great world, pan it off to like great established actors.
Well,
in our smaller world, yes, we could play these people. You would do a great job.
I think I would. I think you would too. But the reason why I was saying if it has to be, because you could still be in it, or I could still be in it. One of us could be the social worker. Is what I'm thinking. One of us could be the social worker, and then maybe a friend of a social worker. Because I'm thinking, I'm kind of tired of seeing like race related movies.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't have to be
honestly, not even
fully race related.
Honestly, because if it doesn't have to be. But if it was a black woman and a white man,
yeah,
like old white man, not old, but like like.
But what role is he? The cop?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's like 50 years old. So he's been through it. He's seen how he's seen black people in the hood and stuff like that, and thinks a certain way about them. Mm-hmm. And the black woman works in the hood to get people help from, especially dealing with trauma that some of these police officers have caused. So that would be pretty good, but still make it like a comedy, and not no romantic one either. It's saying they never get to no situation like that. So I think that would be a cool dynamic, but we could make it even. We could change it so it doesn't have to be race related, and they could both be black, but you still have the. He's going to take on a police officer's kind of thought anyway.
Yeah, so he's still speaking.
Yeah, exactly, in blue.
Yeah. Now,
that would be good too, because then they're both the same color. They're both black, but they still view things different. It shows the dynamics of black.
Being black is not a monolith.
Right, exactly. So both of those theories could work, I think.
I agree.
But the black and white, we can make that funnier, I think.
Now, if we were able to apply this shit to actors that already exist, because somehow it was that amazing of a script, can you imagine the social worker being like Cheryl Lee Ralph? Which, if you don't, have you ever seen Abbott Elementary?
I've never seen that show, but the name, I feel like I know the name.
She played Moesha's mom in Moesha.
Okay.
That's an old show, but I figured you.
Yeah, I know. I remember Moesha. I don't remember the mom.
Cheryl Lee Ralph just won like an award recently, like 2 different ones for her role in that show, Abbott Elementary. If you look her up, she's like a
Cheryl Lee Ralph. You said
I think
Ralph.
That's it, Ralph. Yeah, Cheryl. Yeah, her. It's kind of like a no-nonsense black mom, but with a kind...
Oh, yeah, her, okay.
So imagine her being the social worker, but then the cop is like... You remember I forget his name right now, but like the white dude in Step Brothers that was like, I don't know what it is, but whenever I see your face, I just want to take your face off. Pow! And he kept going, pow! Like, can you imagine him being the cop? And then her being like, John.
To make it... Okay,
John,
we
gotta approach this. We've got to talk him down. He's like, no, I just want to pow. I just want to pow in the face. So not them. Let's show more. So this guy, Rob Rickle. Can you imagine Rob Rickle
and Cheryl
Lee Ralph doing this movie that we would write? So he's like, no, get on the fucking ground. And she's like, Rob, hey, sweetie, it's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
He's like, tell him to put it down. He's gonna put it down right fucking now. She's like, no, I'm in charge.
I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
And she's like, remember, I'm in charge. He's like, you're never in charge. He's got it. She's like, that's not a gun.
Right.
It's not a gun. It's a now and later. He's like, it's just a now and later.
Right.
Like, that would be a great ass.
That would be great. Although, that would be great. But she could have that. But she could also be like, put that goddamn gun down. Oh,
right. Because I said, at some point within the writing, some of the roles start they begin to understand each other's side better.
That could be a pretty cool.
Almost like how Tucker and Dawn could bring us together on their politics. They could bring us together in this movie because it's like, yo, everybody has to see a little bit of something. Because what can happen is now there is danger.
Right.
Now Cheryl's character can see like, man, sometimes shit really does need a gun. I didn't feel that way. I've been so adamant to not. You know what I mean? We can make a great. I'm sorry, y'all. We're so off topic.
But that could be a pretty dope.
We could do a good joint,
right? That could be a pretty dope movie.
We could get people like those people, or still do whatever we was talking about earlier. Man.
Yeah, we can definitely. I have someone in mind who could play the woman as well. So,
yeah.
If we were,
I do too, actually. And we're gonna do some shit eventually, yo. Y'all gonna be like, I used to watch them on a podcast. We're gonna do some shit, man.
Real quick, I'm gonna give you. There's 2 people from the same movie who could honestly do it as well.
Okay.
And one is Cleo King.
Oh shit. Okay.
So that's her. And then Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn. I remember.
Yeah, Steve Zahn. So both of them were in national security.
Yes.
And she played that kind of no nonsense, and he played
that's funny as shit.
Police officer who ended up being a security officer.
People who remember that movie would be like, oh, it's like a callback.
You know what I mean? So it would be interesting. It'd be different dynamics because she's she would have a more of a starring role in this one. But that'd be cool. That's a good idea. We should remember that. Which we have video.
Right now, that's why I did this. I was like, yo, we can't forget.
Yeah,
Everybody
we have video.
That shit.
What episode was that on? Speaking of which, I don't think you said what episode we were on.
Oh, I did. I'm on it. It's 9.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Sorry,
cool.
if I'm wrong, y'all can tell me. But I think I said 9.
Okay.
Is it time for your L3, or am I supposed to do a thing?
I think you. Yeah.
Me?
Let's go to Penn's point.
Cool. All right. So another Penn's point, which I really think I only have one more I'm gonna hit y'all with right now. We talked before about the fact that it's a possibility in some of our minds that this whole everything could be a simulation.
Oh, right.
And so I just wanted to say, to kind of update that thought, some random shit that happens way too consistently, in my mind, makes me feel like that could be the case. And I know that I'm not about to say nothing groundbreaking. I know we've all experienced everything I'm about to say before. But I just want that the next time that this happens, I want y'all to be like, oh, maybe so. So when you need to change your password on something, and then the shit is like, well, first, I'm sorry, when you're trying to log in and you put in the password you think it is, and they're like, no, and you put in another password you think it is, and they're like, no, and then you don't want to get locked out, so you're like, fuck it, forgot password, go through the steps, change password, and then you're like, fuck it, since it wasn't, whatever.
B-Rabbit29.
Right, I thought it was B-Rabbit29, but I definitely need that. So I'm going to do B-Rabbit29, and then you do it, and then the message gives you the error with the X, and they're like, sorry, new password can't be the same as the old password.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it's like, well, if it was, then why the fuck you ain't accept it when I was signing in? I feel like that happens far too
That is
often
wild. That's a wild thing that happens.
for this to not be fake in some way. Like the server is like breaking down, and the server that's running our whole planet, and it sometimes it just fucks up, and it's like, oh shit, it was, but I forgot. There's too much data, too much data, and there was a break in their hard drive. Just like,
or the creator just wants to be like a jerk. The creator of whoever had that website
is running the thing. Yeah, the other one, like for example, when we're trying to set up, when you're trying to plug shit in, say you're trying to put a wired mouse plug into a computer or a laptop or some shit.
A USB.
Yeah, anything you're using a USB for. Y'all know, the first time doesn't fit at all. You feel like an idiot. It doesn't. There's nothing. And I guess we never look. We just start plugging. So it's like you go to plug it. The first orientation, it's only top or flip, and then the top, nothing. And you're like, damn, it's just. So you flip it, and then the flip is like equally, damn, what the fuck? And then you go back to the first flip, and it's like, ah. Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's fake, yo.
And it almost happened to me today, honestly.
Yeah.
It was very close to happening to me today.
It's almost every plug, and I thought like when it was happening when I was like whatever, maybe 20, when I was like 20 years old, I'm like, it can't happen ever. Something I'm gonna become a master of USB. But
or at least finding a plug in your wall.
Right.
When you're trying to plug something in.
Right, but yet it seems like it still happens just enough that I still have to question my sanity as a person that knows I'm not doing anything stupid. But it's like, yo, why always the third time?
Yeah.
Always the third.
It does seem like it's the third time.
Fourth,
yeah. That's
third.
true.
It's either first or third. The second is always wrong, and the fourth and fifth never happen.
So you think that whoever is in charge of our simulator messed up?
Either that, or there's some asshole
or forgot
that they employed that's sitting in there hitting the nobody's gonna notice button. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in charge of this one small thing, and every now and then, fuck that. Like, I'll just flip it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows. He's like an ultimate prankster and shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, change the password, change it back.
Hey, do say God got jokes.
Yeah. Whoever's running the show is doing some wild shit on occasion. So
it's some of those
if
things.
It's a simulation. It's because there's some asshole in the control panel.
Before we talk about basketball, because why would we talk about basketball? My last L3s is Snoop Dogg.
All right.
It's simple. Why is there no one like Snoop Dogg? Like, if you go to LA where you meet a whole bunch of people like Snoop Dogg, who talk like Snoop Dogg, who sound like Snoop Dogg, who look or as tall as Snoop Dogg, like, why is he such a character?
Yeah, I
for lack of a better word.
I honestly would believe that he's probably the only one.
Yeah, like, why because even other superstars don't seem like they're the only one. You know what I mean? Like,
and a lot of them don't have the longevity he's got. He's like what 35, 40 years?
Because he's so unique. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, do we just not know other people like that? Like, is there anyone who talks like him? Was he the first person to say Shizzle my nizzle?
You know, Snoop Dogg,
or is he around? Or, like, is his whole family like that, and he just came out, or is his crew? Are they all like that, and he just was the one that jumped off to be popular, or is he just one of a kind human being?
I think he's one of a kind, and I also think.
What's up, cuz?
This doesn't necessarily have nothing to do with what you was asking. But I think Snoop is like the Generation X version of Morgan Freeman in that he will always be and is infinitely more famous than most people we can think of. Like, I'll give you this, right? That's somebody that's currently and has been popular. Like, I don't want to go too current because it won't be fair. Snoop's been famous for like over 30 years.
Right.
But let's do somebody that's probably got at least a good 10 years under their belt, right? You could send Taylor Swift to like every airport in the world, and then you could send Snoop Dogg right behind her to every airport in the world and have niggas like secretly doing a study. Snoop Dogg's gonna get recognized more than Taylor Swift. For sure. Even though I feel like she's one of the top billable. Yeah, she's amazing. And it's not like she just came out last year. Yeah, but she's got some time on her.
She doesn't talk any different than someone like her.
But her level of relatability to her fans is kind of what probably matters for her.
Yeah. She's very relatable. Snoop is relatable in interesting ways, but he's not. He's just like this bigger than life character.
I think he transcends relatability, and it's just like the want to see and be like, I've seen Snoop. Right. I feel like Snoop is up there. Like, there's famous people like Taylor Swift. But I feel like Snoop is on the level of fame that, like, Michael Jordan, like, he can't go anywhere without niggas being like, that's Michael Jordan. Right. Or, like, before Michael Jackson died. Like, I feel like he reached, like,
I say even more of Michael Jackson because Michael Jordan, I don't even know if you can go, granted, Michael Jordan's famous. But Michael Jordan looks regular. Well, like, he's tall. As he gets older,
you can see it.
So he's tall, but he didn't have any like crazy facial features or anything like that. Snoop Dogg.
No, you gotta notice that it's him. Sure.
Right. Like, what? Snoop Dogg is Snoop. Like, he's Snoop.
He's always in character, right?
Yeah, it's like they're like when you talk about Taylor Swift or Beyonce, like they still look like regular people.
Right. They can take the shit they want on stage off and kind of just
and kind of look like if you messed their hair up and just have them walk around
didn't have looking
regular clothes and some sweats or something like that, they would look fairly regular. Snoop still look he walks a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
Snoop might be one of the most famous people that there is.
Ever walked, yeah.
I was looking at a random clip. It might have been on like Instagram or TikTok or some shit. This was like 6 months ago. And I'm sure when I saw it, it was already old footage. But it was footage of like Jay-Z and Beyonce and like at least Blue Ivy maybe. And then like some of their little, I guess, ensemble that they walk. I don't know if it was publicists or security, whatever. But they were walking somewhere in like Paris. Okay. And like I think one of the people was like walking past and was like, "Hey, who are you?" Right. Jay-Z was like, who are you? Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it was on some shit like they weren't being mobbed. Nobody knew who the fuck they were. Yeah. I don't think that happens with Snoop.
No, it doesn't.
Snoop's in Paris. I got niggas like, oh my God, it's like cameras and shit.
Well, see, here's the other thing.
Obviously Snoop.
Here's the other thing. Even if you didn't know of Snoop, even if somehow you didn't know of Snoop Dogg, you would pay attention to him just from seeing him walk past. Yeah. Like there's something about him that is so unique as far as human beings go.
But why? Because like he's
That's
tall,
what I'm curious.
But he's not super tall.
He's tall.
He's got long hair, but it's not super long. Yeah. A lot of people got locks.
He walks different, but a lot of people walk, a little
swag.
Yeah, a lot of people walk with a little swag.
So it's like, maybe he just looks like and exudes stardom. Like maybe he's just like something.
And maybe the way that he talks too. I'm sure other people talk like that. Like they all say core.
It's not unique. Yeah, it's not. It might be unique to where you live, but it's not unique to.
He just seems like such a wildly unique person, but it's like, is there no one else is like that? Because I can't imagine anyone else being.
I've famous than this nigga. As far as like an on-site, some random kid in Italy could be like, that's the Snoop Dogg.
I mean, now that Michael Jackson has passed, it would be Snoop. Snoop's probably the most famous, aside from Jesus.
Right, because now Michael Jackson's fame was like niggas was fainting.
Which is wild.
At the sight of him being in the same room, not even touching you.
It's crazy.
Different. I don't think anybody's gonna ever touch that.
Well, especially now because you can get too close to superstars with Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Michael Jackson was like, this
existed when that wasn't.
Yeah, this is the only time you're going to see me is if you buy my ticket.
Yeah,
and you might see me, 5-10 times out the year on TV. But you're going to hear my music all the time. And you're going to watch my music videos. But as far as a live performance, or not even live performance, but a live conversation, maybe 5 times. So like, I'm Michael Jackson. I don't really need to do interviews.
Right. Yeah, there's just some shit that just doesn't need to be promoted.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see commercials for Cheerios anymore.
Right. And even Michael Jackson, he was very talented and skilled, but his skill, came from his family and his father and stuff like that. They molded him into a certain thing, and then he changed his looks, right? Yeah. But if he stayed looking like regular Michael Jackson, and it's a bunch of people that can sing, so what I'm saying, I'm not saying that anyone can do what Michael Jackson did, because he's amazing, work ethic and everything, and he's a showman, right? He's Michael Jackson. But if you took all of that off and had him just walking through a place, is anyone going to notice? Is anyone just no? But if it's Snoop, him just walking past, people will notice.
I don't know, yo. I think but see, that's the thing. We can't undo.
Yeah, you can't strip it.
Parts of his
I get that, but I'm just saying, even without that, he still seems like a unique. I'm saying, without fame, without success, without music, he still seems like a unique individual.
I don't think I would give a fuck about Snoop if I didn't know I was supposed to. Like, I think if I was at work and he walked into my job, like when I was younger, or if I was,
you might not, but there's still no one like him.
I don't think I'd be like, that guy is. I want to know more about that guy at the Target. Like,
if you heard him, I think if you right, you might be right, but if you heard him talk, but he's a unique figure.
Like, if he was my cashier and therefore I was forced to interact with him somewhere, right. Like my waiter,
yeah,
I might be like, yo, I had a cool waiter today. Like, don't you think our waiter was cool?
Yeah,
and then that person might be like, yeah. But I'm not gonna be like, I wonder what he does on the weekend. but
like,
you know what I'm
for like who like, no one's really ever compared themselves to Snoop or gotten compared to Snoop, like, publicly.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, people compare people to Michael Jordan. People compare people to Michael Jackson. Not really.
But you know what I think? Because
Michael Jackson.
I'm a person that doesn't think that Snoop Dogg is continually great at his original thing that we were introduced to him for. In other words,
right. Okay.
I think his first album was great. I don't really care about almost any of his music after that, but I care about kind of him as an individual, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, he's been personable enough and neutral enough. Like, you know what I mean? He's never come out and been such a dick to somebody. Right. I'm like, oh, I don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? And if he did, he either
came out with gin and juice,
discussed, you know what I'm saying, why it happened, or if something had to come back, it came back. You know what I'm saying? I've never, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just never heard his name in a story that made me be like, well, now, like, normally the stories about him be like, chill.
I'm just, my thing is that he looks and sounds more unique than most people.
He probably smokes so much weed that it's a combination of both of the things we're saying. He's probably so chill that he really doesn't be fucking with people like that. And also, those type of things make him such an interesting person because he really is seeing shit different. Like, bro, that don't faze me at all.
Right.
I'm calm about it because I'm calm about it. Maybe tomorrow might not happen, my nigga. Like, it's probably so calming to talk to this nigga. It's like, yo, for real? Like, you was the murder's the case they gave me, and you're so chill though. Even during that, you was just kind of like.
See, I feel like maybe if you were around Snoop for like a week and you got to see who he interacts with, maybe who he came up with, then maybe it's like, oh, okay, now I can kind of see. Now I see where you picked from everyone around you.
I feel like he's still married to the same woman. For like
decades. And always talked about being a pimp.
Right. Even through all the girls going wild commercials.
Right.
On the side of the bus.
But you know, she like, I ain't letting that go.
Yeah, because he's the most famous nigga in the world.
Right.
He's like him and The Rock.
Yeah.
And he's way more famous than The Rock.
But so that was one of my things. It's just like he's so different. He's so unique. It's very interesting.
Cool. I had 2 things that I wanted to mention. I forgot one because I got too involved in talking about Snoop and I never wrote it down. But one of the things it was 2 quick hitters.
Let's get some quick hitters so we can get the F out of here.
Want to say, are y'all niggas, and that means anybody, seriously drinking Starry? Did we change the Starry? I know the Starry replaced Sierra Mist. I know that I don't fuck with Sierra
I
Mist.
feel like I heard something about Starry.
So I never heard of Starry until Super Bowl. Super Bowl came out.
Oh, they had a commercial?
They did like maybe, I think they had like 2. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? And since then, I keep seeing commercials. And then I went to somewhere to drive through a couple weeks ago. And I think we asked like, yo, do y'all have Coke or Pepsi products? And they was like, Pepsi or some shit. And then she was like, oh, I don't like Sierra Mist. And then the dude was like, well, we don't have Sierra Mist anymore. They replaced it with Starry. And I was like, is that what's happening? I thought it was like a new nigga. Because then my question is, so if y'all...
Well, Sierra Mist is still new. It's still that new.
And I never liked that shit. It's like a shitty-ass Sprite.
Yes, exactly. It's been here for a long time, but it's still, to me, it's new.
It's new,
like,
short
I
term?
I wouldn't go... And if I saw Sierra Mist, I'd be like, damn, they don't got Sprite? Like, why would you... have Sprite and Sierra Mist.
They won't, and you don't, because most places pick one brand and sell that brand.
It's one of the... But are they made by them? They're not made by the same people?
According to what I've been being told and kind of realizing, I guess, on my own, is that Starry is made by the Pepsi company, and it is their replacement of Sierra Mist.
And who's Sprite made by?
Sprite is a Coca-Cola product.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
My issue is, so it's like their competition. Like every time you make a flavor, we'll make a competing flavor.
Well, they knew that Sierra Mist started, so they're like, you know what? Let's just change the name.
Sierra Mist, right? So that's what I was gonna get at, because Sierra Mist has never tasted as good as Sprite.
No.
The name has never been as marketable as Sprite's name. You know what I'm saying? The can wasn't as cool looking.
Sierra Mist doesn't even get bought. Like, you have to go to, like, when I think about Sierra Mist, I think about a paper cup with ice.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody orders Sierra Mist.
Yeah, you're not going to go there with a bottle.
Well, you don't go buy it at the store. It was one of those things where you drink it because the place you're at doesn't have Sprite.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I want a lemon lime beverage.
Yeah, it's like,
I guess I'll just pretend the ice is fucking up. But it's never the ice, it's always the Sierra Mist.
Yeah, it's just not.
So my question is to people who are drinking and buying Starry, because I still have yet to be inside Rural Farms or Wawa's and see a nigga go get one.
Right.
It's for those of y'all on my timeline that are invariably drinking that shit. Is it better than Sierra Mist? And I want you to go on record and tell me now. Because I also want to find out if they didn't change the formula at all.
Right, yeah.
And they're placebo and niggas to death with this new mascot. Because now the colors are green and yellow. And they got the green and yellow mascot that are like talking. I mean, it's like they're biting without biting.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't call them on it because it is a lemon and lime thing. But I just want to know, because I don't know if they changed the formula. I'm like, it might just be a branding change. What if it tastes better than
Sprite? That'd be interesting. That's what I think it's a branding change, but it's even weird to just have Sierra Mist. That's something I would never.
And how did they land on the name Sierra Mist? Like, was it just going to be Mist? Because they wanted to compete with Sprite on a one-syllable level.
Well, no, Sierra Mist.
And they was like, it's Sierra Mist. Is Mist from the Sierras? Like,
yeah, I guess so, because it quenches your thirst. So
is it a mist from Sierra Mountains?
If you were out in the Sierra, right?
Desert?
Yeah.
That's the Sahara.
That's a Sahara.
So that's what I'm saying. Is Sierra? Is Sierra like? Is it a mountain formation?
Yeah.
Is it what the fuck even was that?
Maybe that's what they were thinking, Sahara, but we don't make it too obvious.
Sierra, so we're gonna name it after like a woman's name.
Maybe.
Like it's named after a woman. Is it like the creator was a woman?
Unless they drove a GMC Sierra.
Right.
That's interesting.
But I'm sure does the soda predate Sierra trucks?
No, Sierra trucks been out for a while.
So they
90s maybe.
The soda has to go back to the 90s, right? When did Sierra Mist come out?
I don't know, but it's always seemed new.
I always didn't fuck with it. That's my answer.
Yeah, I've never. I can't think of a time where I even thought about wanting a Sierra Mist.
So interesting. I googled it. It says Sierra Mist was a lemon lime flavored soft drink line. That's crazy that it's already in the was
section. Yeah, they changed that
by
quick.
Pepsi in 1999, and then it made it to all. It made it to all of the rest of the United States by 2003, so I guess it was only in certain states in 99.
Oh, okay.
May 7th, they know the exact fucking day it came out. Yo! So Sprite came out on May 7th, 1999, and they discontinued...
Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist came out on May 7th, 99. It was discontinued on January 9th, 23. So I guess like right before the Super Bowl aired, they said, yoink, we're going to promote the shit out of that. We're going to drop it, air it on Super Bowl, spend all the money on the commercial. It's going to ball. So Sierra Mist died when it was roughly almost 24 years old. It barely made it out of college.
Yeah. It's gone. Ain't
Rest
no
in peace,
Coca-Cola.
Sierra Mist, you
Yeah.
tasteless piece of shit. I really still want to know why it's called that. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can look up anything relevant while we're still on air. They did say Sprite has long dominated the market.
Of course.
And led Pepsi for a need to rebrand and rethink the taste of their offering. So for me, that means they rebranded and reflavored it. Because if they just said rebranding, I'd have been like, y'all drinking the same shit. Okay, so they say Starry is more aligned with the Gen Z aesthetic, bright front and whimsical. And they use the phrase Instagrammable, which I wonder if that hit the Webster's dictionary yet. Is shit Instagrammable? If it is, the Gen Zers will fuck with it, they say.
Oh my goodness.
Interesting, yo. So now y'all know. But talk to me if you drink Starry. I want to know if it's better than Sprite. I want to know if it's worse than Sierra Mist. I want to know why the fuck you used to drink Sierra Mist if you did.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like if we, if I'd have went on a first date and my date's question was anywhere along the lines of, do you have Coke or Pepsi products? Or even if they didn't ask that, whether they asked that and then found out it was Pepsi and directly ordered a Sierra Mist, or if they came straight off the top and was like, can I get you guys something to drink tonight? And they was like, Sierra Mist, I'd be like, yo.
I wouldn't break up with them because they're different. They're unique.
No.
We got,
I'm not necessarily saying that
we might be able to go. I would need to see, like, this better mean that you are a very intriguing person.
Right, because for me, it already means you've got questionable taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to say the date is over.
I need to know the reason why you have such questionable taste.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to lock it in by finding out something else that I hope you don't say to pick the wrong choice on. But before that happens, because you're not going to know that's coming.
Right. Because
I'm going to make you think this is over by the thing I'm going to do first. The thing I'm going to do first, even though it's the first date, is roast your ass.
Yeah, you're getting roasted.
And I'm in for a good 7 minutes.
I think so.
When they come back with the appetizer, I'm still going to be like, so, why don't you know what lemons taste like? Like, I'm still going to be deep into this shit. You feel me? It's never happened to me, and thank God none of you bitches ever was like, I'll have a Sierra Mist. I'd have been like, I might be having to check. Come back in 10 minutes. Come back. Bitch!
Let me have a conversation.
What I think you said, why didn't you just get a ginger ale when you found out it was Pepsi product? Why did you still get a Sierra Mist?
Yeah.
I know you wanted a Sprite.
Or just get the Pepsi,
if you say you didn't want a Sprite, so you know what I mean, that's where it starts. If you're like, yo, I
don't like Sprite. I want a Sierra Mist. That's wild.
Right. You got to tell me that you want it
unless,
Sprite and you're selling it for less. You know what I'm saying?
They might be like, well, Sprite's too strong. But then again, Sprite's only strong at McDonald's.
And I'm not taking you there, so I don't want to hear that shit. Okay. So if you now tell me like, well, I wanted a Sprite, but I don't like colas, so I just had to go for the light.
Right.
And I'll be like, bet. But if you be like, oh, Sierra Mist is good.
Okay.
Fucking problem for me.
Yeah,
there's no way.
That would be a problem.
No way, right? And you're not gonna like me after this conversation, so I should have just been like, let's cancel.
Yeah, we probably cancel. What's the next quick hitter?
Honestly, I still never remembered it, and we probably are at a good amount of time. I don't know when we started. Okay.
Only thing I gotta say is, shout out to the Braun and the Laker crew out there doing their thing. You know what I mean? Russell 3 back-to-back threes. You know what I mean? Hachimura putting in work. You should have stayed in Washington. Now, I'm gonna miss you. But I only go to like one game a year, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's cool to see him in the limelight, actually putting in work. He's a good mid-range shooter. He can shoot the 3-ball. I love seeing him out there. Good job, Reeves and Vanderbilt.
Just want to
guys are playing.
A lot of this is Dylan Brooks' fault. What a fucking Mo Braun.
And then he don't even want to talk to the media.
I'm fine with that. Nobody wants to hear from his lumped up ass.
They want to hear from him right now.
Yeah, but only to be like make him eat shit. It's not because they really care what he thinks about him as a person or athlete.
100% true.
They want him to be like, LeBron's playing amazing, and maybe shouldn't sit. He's not gonna say that, so he just
he would just have to say, well, it's basketball. That's that's the game. Next.
If I was LeBron, every time I scored on that nigga, I'd be like. Like making little insignias on my forehead, like, yo, what's all of these fucking scarifications, nigga? Like, why you look like you had some fucking he looked like he had on like ski glasses.
Oh, then took him off right before.
And fell asleep for 2 days, and that shit was like, ah, like it's pressing on his thoughts. Like it looks like, I mean, I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like somebody punched that nigga like this
twice
with the weirdest shaped rings in the world. It was like, fuck you.
Yeah, I can't imagine
Captain Planet
like
fucked
that.
this nigga up. Was like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, he looks wild. Yo.
It's a while, but there's some good imagery of him being a villain that I can respect.
Yeah, and that's cool, but also fuck him.
Yeah.
And also, shout out to Kawhi never being available. Yeah. Shout out to the fact that they're going to lose that series purely based on the fact that niggas couldn't play. I think the Suns were in trouble and they didn't know it, and then they lucked up.
Yeah, they left it.
Wild.
They left it really, really open.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miami because Butler put up 56, and before I'm like, is Butler a superstar? Is he not? I think he's saying that he's a super. He can do it. Granted, it may have been them letting him do whatever he wants to do, but as far as the defense goes,
has been a problem for a long time though. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't necessarily talk about him in the same
I think it's because he's not like super flashy but he's gritty. He's gritty and he gets to where he needs to get to, and he puts up buckets and he's clutch.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't trying to do super flashy shit, whatever. It's not like I've seen him in a bunch of commercials or nothing. So I feel you. And then for me, I think the first time he even did something that got him non-on-court attention was this past offseason when he decided to get fake dreads.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, that was like a non-starter. Like, I saw that shit and was like, yo, I don't even respect you. Well, like, as soon as I saw that shit.
I don't know if he... did he do it just for him or did he do it just for fun?
He said he did it for him and that he's going to...
He would say that.
At the time, he was like, I'm going to try out a lot of styles now that I pissed y'all off. Like, he's trying to lean into it.
He leads into that kind of confrontation style of thing. So I don't know if
he said it was for him, and it's something he always wanted to try. But I feel like you want to try it, do it.
That's actually hold on. Hear him out. Before you go through the process, the long drawn out process of growing your hair,
you know why I don't want to hear that shit?
Not sleeping on it.
You know why I don't want to hear that shit? Because I did the process.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
because that's the only way that I knew.
You ever test drive a car before you buy it?
I know. What I don't do is test drive a car that I have no intentions on buying.
Maybe he does.
If I get into the test drive, I am willing to get it unless this doesn't go the way I hoped it would.
Maybe if it goes right, he'll be like, you know what? I'm going to grow my own dreads because I like the way this feels. But if he doesn't like it, then it's like, I'm glad I didn't take all that time to grow my own dreads just to realize that I can't sleep on it.
I can't because, you know what I'm saying? I just can't. Like,
I just think you're a hater.
I might be because I did the authentic shit, but anybody that does something authentic hates when somebody doesn't.
That's true.
So, like, if you make authentic spaghetti sauce from scratch, you hate when you see a nigga buy
ragu. Yeah.
Oh my God, what's going on in your kitchen? Yeah. You feel me? So, unfortunately, as a real ass nigga, I don't like fake niggas. Like, is that fair? Can we all agree online?
Just say that you're biased about having
real
niggas
dreads. Recognize real niggas, and we don't fuck with that fake shit. So, good job with your 56.
Do your thing, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, do your thing on the court, and keep your little stupid ass cornrow. You got like 3 cornrows. Keep those.
It's styled pretty cool.
It's in a pattern, but it's like 3 cornrows.
It's styled pretty cool. He's really hating on you, Butler.
Because you did some off-season dreads, and they lasted for like 2
Well, hey,
days.
look, he's a trendsetter.
That wasn't a trend. I mean, other people are doing
That's
it.
Hilarious.
That's
hilarious. I said trendsetter.
Oh, shit. But it wasn't that either. I mean, people that do it aren't doing it because of him. They're doing it because they might be decisions like he makes.
Because Butler's putting up 56 buckets, and if you want to be like Jimmy freaking Butler,
if you're a person who grew your dreads out and you're, you know what I'm saying, some of them are falling out because of wear and tear, whatever, and some of your maintenance to keep things looking right is to get some shit added to what you lost, I respect that.
So they can be fake. Wow.
Because you've gone through the process and you're now experiencing real life wear and tear damage.
Yeah, but they can't deal with hair loss.
It's gotten heavy.
They can't deal with hair loss? That's crazy.
They're not losing shit they never had.
It's ridiculous.
You're getting shit added on you never even tried to grow.
That's like you can't grow your hair no more, so you just draw it on. Same thing.
Are you a fan of big flashy eyebrows that aren't really filled with hair? You know, the ones that are just outlines and you can see where the hair stops very much so. It's all in the center. But then there's this crazy ass, sharp ass shape of outline.
Hey man, whatever makes you look good makes you
feel me? No, so you know, because as people that have eyebrows, you could take the.
But I didn't try to grow these. You know what I mean? I didn't try to grow these.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that.
Just
we can make that a topic another day. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, like not because people don't get offended by eyebrows because there's no cultural tie to growing eyebrows.
People get offended when you don't have when you cut them off.
Right, but there is a cultural tie to growing locks. So for a nigga to skip that journey and so you know for a fact for him it's nothing about none of the deeper connections or about being able to stick to a process to show that you can, you know, whatever. It's almost like fasting. You know what I'm saying? Like people do fasting. I need to. You know what I mean? You go through that arduous shit you talked about, sleeping and having people looking stupid for like a couple of years in a row every fucking day.
So you're mad that he never got the chance to look stupid? Aside from the 3.
Ironically, what he did made him look stupid as fuck to some of us. So he did experience it, but it's not long enough.
Don't listen to him,
He was
Jimmy.
supposed to feel stupid for like 3 years, not 3 months.
He just had to try him out, see if he wanted to waste his time doing what you did. He might want to skip the process.
I feel like it ended up.
He might. Well, yours worked
it
out.
sucked in the beginning.
Yours worked out, but he's like, am I gonna like myself with long hair? I might not like myself with long hair. I want to do all this work and then find out that I don't like myself with long hair.
Like, so that's on him for not understanding that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fucking with it.
This guy's justifying his hatred for Jimmy Buckets.
I don't hate Jimmy Butler. I hated Jimmy Butler's Tyler Perry dreads.
And now he's calling shots at Tyler Perry.
Yeah,
Tyler Perry, come on.
Hashtag Tyler Perry. Hashtag.
Let me get in the Tyler Perry movie.
What's it called? His dreads. Jimmy Butler. Couldn't even think of his name.
Jimmy. Oh, yeah.
You said that you get in the movie?
Yeah. I got to be in Tyler Perry movie. I can't say nothing wrong about Tyler Perry.
No, I would love to be in the Tyler Perry movie. Just don't let him give you a wig.
Tyler Perry did some. Fair. Tyler Perry did some. He has RC planes, and he flies RC planes around. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Tyler Perry. But I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, man. We probably should get
That's a wrap. Yeah, we're going to get up out of here. And we're still getting out of here somewhat early in comparison to some other times.
Y'all don't know, but we do.
Yeah. But we out on God.
Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to us. That was stupid. Make sure you check us out.
Well, we got to shout ourselves out too.
Yeah,
I get it.
Make sure you check us out next week. Make sure you check us out this Friday at the Depot. If you're local, we will be in Baltimore performing.
True.
Some other acts. We mentioned it earlier. Come on out. It's only $10. You have a good time. Albums on the way. Lots of content on the way. Keep fucking with us. We are the podcast of the year, whether we win that bitch or not. You feel me? Because we talking about shit ain't nobody talking about.
Absolutely. And absolutely.
Shameless plug.
100%. Out of there.
Yeah.
It's the God's rap, baby.
A toast to all that made it, a lot of my niggas faded.